thanks for taking the time to come to our meeting today. Now, this meeting, a good portion of it is recorded. We did this meeting the other night, and you're going to have a chance to meet Bill Downs, David Roden, Gina Bender, and Mike Saletti. And these are all individuals you'll be working very, very closely with. Now, Bill Downs is the CEO and founder of the company, and David is is the national sales director, and we'll be working close with him. What I want you to listen to as you listen to them, the whole point of this is for you to get a feeling of who we are and what the basic philosophies of what we have. We know we have a great product. We have a great play plan, and as you will look toward the end of this recording, I go real quickly to the plan and what it entails. And what I want you to get out of this is that the plan is simple, it's direct, and by you applying a little bit of effort on your time and following some of the tools that we have, you're going to have the ability to start putting some money into your pocket on a weekly basis and start to build up a residual income. The plan is very simple and it is direct, it's easy to explain, and it's more importantly, it is designed that if you help your teams grow and you help them get the income they're looking for, you will grow as well. And my plan is that for you, those of you that are coming in, is to have you sit down and learn how to develop 5 to 10 people, and by doing that, you're going to develop a $5,000 to $10,000 a month income. Once you've done that once, then it's very simple to go ahead and do it a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time. And the beauty of coming in with victory right now is because we have a patented product and we have a simple system, and it is just now starting to go national because we're looking for a few good people who are willing to take the time and energy and to learn how to build a team and become better sponsors. You're going to have a great opportunity to build true legacy income. So we're going to go ahead and start with Bill Downs. Listen, at the end of the recording, make sure you fill out the form below and tell us your interest. And what would be really nice, I'll leave a form down there, is also put down what you are trying to accomplish. Why are you looking to do this as a business opportunity for yourself? That's going to be important because that will give us the information we need to help you. So go ahead, listen to the video. It's about 58 minutes long, and then go ahead and fill that form out if you want to move forward, and then we'll get back with you. So we'll go ahead and get started. Again, it's Dwight Halstead down here in Ocala. I look forward to talking to you on a one-to-one basis. So here's Bill. So what I would like to do first, Bill, I would like to introduce you and your lovely wife, Kim. And Bill, a couple of things that I just want to kind of everybody here to listen to and understand is number one, as you know, I hooked my anchor on protozomes. Kind of explain, not in extreme detail, because I know you can go an hour on this, but just kind of a basic overview of what the proteasome technology is all about and why it's such a key element in what we do.
Well, I'm a nutritional biochemist, and I've been researching nutrition and its role in supporting optimal health for 35 plus years. I have 93 papers published in the peer-reviewed scientific literature. I've authored chapters in books that would be considered either textbooks or academic handbooks for clinicians on a wide range of topics. I had a clinical practice in a doctor's office for a few years, and I actually started in sales and went back to school I have a degree in business, and I went back to school for my degree in nutrition. And I got fed up with the nutrition. I was in a curriculum for registered dietitians, and I got out of that curriculum and went into biological chemistry. I was in the nutrition curriculum for about 2.5 years. I went into the biological chemistry curriculum. I was in that for 2.5 years. I tried to leapfrog over, capture my master's and my PhD, and my business got extremely successful. I was in the raw material business at the time. And it got extremely successful, and so I'm about 9 credits shy of my PhD, so I'm not a doctor. But I've just been really fortunate to have a great peer review or peer group of scientists, of eminent scientists, and I've been very successful. So one of the things in researching what causes chronic disease and drilling down to the lowest common denominator, trying to find out what caused it. And by the way, the answer to that is an inability to effectively use oxygen and water. I now had to find a solution, something that would nourish the body. And that was where my journey through the ingredient business was 24 years. And that's actually when I met Michael Soletti. I've known Michael, I think, just about longer than anybody else in the country. And so I began researching all these ingredients. And then what happened is, that's a long story, and I don't want to go into that, but I don't need to go into that. But the culmination of that is I ended up being introduced to Steve Kushner, who was doing research in something called phospholipids and liposomes. And a liposome, everybody needs to understand that all of your cells and all the soft tissues of your body are made of phospholipids. They create a membrane called a phospholipid bilayer. It's the circular thing we call the cell wall. That's actually a membrane. And it's got two phospholipids that go together like this. Okay, so these would be the legs, right there, the legs. And the head would be where my knuckles are. So you get these phospholipids coming together and linking and creating something called a phospholipid bilayer. And Steve was doing research on liposomes. And we got together, and I just opened up a whole new dimension of biological possibilities by figuring out a way to engineer these phospholipids the way that the body did. And that was the real secret. Most companies just put ingredients into something and then put it in the body via tablets, capsules, powders, liquids, etc., and hope that the body will do what it normally does. Hope it'll digest it and absorb it, and all the ingredients will become effectively used. Well, the number one health problem in our culture is digestive problems. You know, it's the number one reason for emergency room visits after accidents. It's the number one reason for doctor visits, the number one reason for over-the-counter purchases, and it's the number one reason for prescription drugs disqualifying things like Cialis and Viagra, which are really recreational in my opinion. But if you look at the Center for Disease Control's top 10 reasons for hospitalization, digestive problems are 6 of them. They are the number one collective cause of problems. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means that your digestive system is not effectively taking not you, food that goes in your mouth, and turning it into you. So that means that the supplements that you're putting in your mouth aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Therefore, the most expensive supplement is the one that doesn't work because it can't get in. So Steve and I wanted to go beyond, go to another whole dimension of determining or figuring out how to engineer these ingredients in these phospholipid carriers, these liposomes, so that they would essentially mimic biological fluid and cell membrane properties, be rapidly absorbed, and deliver these nutrients into the blood. And so we actually engineered, I don't like the word created, only God creates, but we engineered this process whereby we create structured water. And we tried to mimic the dynamics of blood flow. So you have 1.5 gallons of blood in your body, and it's circulating through an elaborate network of about 60,000 miles of blood vessels, and it makes one complete revolution every 20 to 60 seconds. It's unbelievable. And so what we did is we took water, it's sterile water, deionized water, and we put it into a dynamic vortex, and it's circulating at about 20,000 RPMs to create structured water. And into that, we take phospholipids from non-GMO soy, and most soy lecithin's about 19 to 21% phosphatidylcholine, which is an important ingredient. You see it in some supplements. But phosphatidylcholine is the predominant phospholipid that makes up your cell membranes. And we have a lecithin that's 88 to 92% phosphatidylcholine. And we put this into that dynamic vortex with the water. And the difference is what we do to these phospholipids before they go in is we impregnate and saturate them with free ions, exactly like your red blood cells are. And essentially we mimic the ratio the exact, like we get these minerals, these ions from salt beds in Utah that are ancient seabeds, and ocean water, seawater, has the same exact mineral profile as human blood. So we take these mineral ions from there, we put that into these phospholipids, and it changes their energetic fingerprint to match blood as a negative ionic fingerprint. And that goes into this dynamic vortexing of water. Now, phospholipids have an adhesive property. So we take the ingredients in our Protovite, which is our key product, and we mechanically pre-digest them through an advanced wet milling process, creating essentially a nanoemulsion. And that goes into this dynamic vortex with the phospholipids, which encapsulate, they create these liposomes, but they're much more stable than regular liposomes. You can't liposome minerals, and we do liposome them. And we get clusters of these energetically enhanced liposomes within a liposome, and clusters of those liposomes within another liposome, etc., up to hundreds of concentric layers, mimicking the architecture of a cell. And when you put it in your mouth, by the way, when the product is allowed to stand at room temperature for several hours, it has something called an exothermic reaction. We use no heat in making the product or going through this process, but it heats up to 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit and stops. There's no other liquid consumable product on the planet we know of that has that exothermic reaction. It mimics body fluid. And when you put it in your mouth, it rapidly absorbs through the blood vessels under the tongue, called the sublingual mucosa, into the blood. And it's synchronized vis-a-vis simultaneous absorption. Even food doesn't do that. Food has different particle sizes, particle densities, particle compositions. It breaks down at different times, at different places, in different ways to get absorption. So you have to eat that much food to get that much absorption and biological activity. Well, with our product, and all of our products are protosomed, you get synchronized absorption and optimal synergy with the ingredients working together and accomplishing amazing things. So once again, the most expensive supplement is the one that can't get in, and it doesn't work. We're seeing, and we did a study to show that the Protovite was in the blood in 5 minutes or less in 100% of the people tested 100% of the time, and changing the properties of the blood dramatically, improving hemoglobin, improving neutrophils, the white blood cells, and giving people tremendous benefits. And we can't actually, benefits are so amazing that we can't even talk about them in a public media, because they're, essentially they're medical situations, and that's illegal for dietary supplements. But certainly there's no other product out there that restores the ability to use oxygen and water to make energy, manage energy, and eliminate waste at a cellular level like Protovite and our other products. Our Brain Award, for example, has 37 clinical studies. Anyway, so that's it on protosomes, Dwight. Again, you ask me for a drink of water, you will get Niagara Falls. You're muted, Dwight. Unmute.
You can't read lips?
No.
Yeah, I was doing it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty quiet as a rule, but yeah, that was absolutely great. I mean, I made a few quick notes here. The next thing I would kind of like to go over, if you would, is just go over each one of the products, kind of what the benefits are and the purpose behind them. And I know we can get real long on that, but if you can kind of keep that into basic, just so everybody has an understanding of the importance of each one of them.
Well, Protovite is a multivitamin, mineral, and plant nutrient complex, phytonutrient complex. And again, it is protosome, so it gets in. It's basically the brick and mortar building materials that all your cells are made of. The only thing we don't put in there essentially is iron and vitamin K, because there's a lot of people taking blood thinners, and both of those would interfere with the medications, which essentially I'm not that concerned about, quite frankly. However, it's because it gets in 100% of the time and 100% of the people, it just does some really amazing things. So that's your foundational supplement, is your Protovite. take it every day. Feed the need. If somebody's perfectly normal, then it just helps to optimize their health. But if somebody's dealing with a very significant issue, they may need to take a little bit more to feed the need. If you have a campfire, a bucket of water puts it out. If you have a house fire, you're going to need a bit more water. If you're going to be an athlete and go out and run 20 miles, you're going to need more nutritional support. You're going to need more sleep. You're going to need more elimination. So feed the need. The Enzorb is a very unique enzyme complex. I'm going to say it's a metabolically active enzyme complex. It looks like digestive enzymes, but most digestive enzymes work in a pH of 2 to 5.5, and the enzymes in the Enzorb are engineered to work in a pH of 6.5 to 8.5. The body's in the tissues of the enzymes work in the tissues of the body. It's an amazing difference. So it actually replenishes the depleted enzyme reserve and helps to boost metabolism. And since your digestive system has just about the largest supply of blood of any organ system in the body, it makes an amazing contribution to restoring the healthy structure and function of all the tissues in your digestive tract. So it does improve digestive competence, not because of how it disintegrates and dissolves food going in here, but by how it nourishes GI tract function from the inside out. Your digestive system is essentially an external organ on the inside of your body because it's open at both ends. So we're through the blood supply again, via the protozomes, the enzymes are getting in and affecting some really amazing benefits there. We now have 2 clinical studies published on the Enzorb, the finished product, and we have a 1-year placebo-controlled study underway, double-blind placebo-controlled study underway with Enzorb at the University of Wyoming. And then we have the brain reward, as I said earlier, there's 37 published clinical studies. I don't think there's another finished product, multi-ingredient finished product in the industry that has that kind of research support. I believe we stand alone in that arena. And it shows that it rebalances the brain chemistry, improves gene expression. It's a nutrigenomic technology. It means it's nutrition affecting gene expression that optimizes health. And so it helps to improve cognition, memory, reduce stress, improve your ability to see problems, solve problems. It improves or reduces cravings, excessive reward-seeking cravings. It's actually a survival gene that is also called the reward gene, and it helps to promote healthy reward-seeking behaviors, especially in people who have unhealthy and in bondage of healthy reward-seeking behaviors. That's why it's called brain reward. And then the last product is Thione Extra. It is an amazing antioxidant, immune support, and oxygen utilizing supplement. It is not SOD. It is not glutathione. You'd never want to take glutathione or a metabolic hormone or molecule because your body has an elaborate feedback system and it turns off the ability to make those substances. What you want to do is give the body the ability to make them and help provide the environment, the optimal environment in which to make them. One of the problems in conventional nutrition science is that there's a belief that the primary cause of illness is inflammation. And so there are a lot of anti-inflammatory products out there from, curcumin to OPCs, et cetera, et cetera. So inflammation is simply an anaerobic event. Can't use oxygen, can't use water. So if we improve the ability to use oxygen or water, if we improve energy efficiency, we automatically reduce free radical generation. So the Thione Extra is an amazing ingredient that helps to fund SOD, which is the 5th most abundant antioxidant or protein in the body, the first line of defense of antioxidant defense, and glutathione, which is in every cell in the body. It helps to protect your DNA and improve oxygen utilization. And we have a fruit that's a cherry-sized fruit that has more vitamin C than 70 oranges. And all of the vitamin C is bound to nitric oxide. So it improves nitric oxide. By the way, I might add Cialis and Viagra are pretty popular for increasing nitric oxide. So that's a benefit. But the primary benefit is it relaxes and expands blood vessels and improves circulation, thereby improving oxygen delivery to the cells. So it's promoting dendritic cells, which are immune recognition molecules that identify the bad guys and tell the macrophages, the big eater cells, they actually present the antigens, the bad guys, to these cells. They're called antigen presenting cells. So it increases dendritic cells by 9 times in 10 days. So I will not ever bring supplements to the market that you can go to a health food store and buy. You can buy something that looks like Protovite, but it will not be anything like it. It's kind of like an airplane and a spaceship use the same steel, but they have entirely different functions and capabilities. So our engineering process is a whole new dimension of nutritional benefits and support and engineering that is unprecedented in the industry.
Wow. Yeah, that's one of the big things that brought me in was the uniqueness of the product and the fact this is the only place that people can find this, and that's our mission to bring it forward. One real quick note before I go over to David. One of the things I was really impressed with our conversations was your commitment to the quality control and maintaining that quality all the way through. Can I just cover that real quickly for everybody?
David?
Can you hear me?
Yes. I didn't realize that was for me.
Yeah.
I'll absolutely hand quality control. I would say this to that with a little bit of a preamble. First of all, for those of you on the call, my job title, for want of a better word, is the Director of Sales Operations. And my history, apart from being in the industry of network marketing for 25 years. Prior to that, finance and sales. And so my goal is to ensure that we are at the cutting edge of technology and that we do the very best of sharing the opportunity of such high quality products that we have here, and that's been eloquently expressed by our CEO and founder and president, Bill Downs. We have, from a standpoint of technology and quality control, we gather ingredients from all over the world. And you may ask, well, look, you're going to a GMC, you're going to a Walmart, you're going to other health foods, Good Earth, and other stores, all of which are great stores. I'm not here to knock any of those. But I would add to that, you cannot tell from a label that the length of quality control testing that has gone to ensure that label requirements are met. Not just at the end of their expiration date, but beyond. That is something that is unique in the industry, and not many companies have that level of quality control in place. One of the 3 reasons I joined the company was because of that quality control that is in place. We also ensure that products do not go out of date. We have regular batches that are tested from beginning to end. And for your information, the 2 most difficult markets to get into in the world are 1, Australia, and 2, Canada. The lengths that are required to ensure the premium quality of products is exemplary. So if you can get into 1 or both of those countries, then you know you are a quality company, because you spent significant funds to go through the strenuous testing and requirements that are required when the product is made and when it is imported into the market and beyond. And we happen to have NPNs, or natural product numbers, for all of our 4 products in Canada, issued by Health Canada at the time the products were manufactured. I'm not going to go into detail about those requirements, but just know they're strenuous. And I won't imbibe myself with products that are not of that high quality. So that is something to be said and stands high on a pedestal in the industry. Hopefully that answered your question, Dwight.
It does. It does. I think that's one of the big things I wanted people to understand is that as we grow and in this, we got some tremendous growth ahead of us here. The product quality is one of the biggest banes in this industry is the manufacturers of our of products not really maintaining a high quality control all the way through it. So, this is a very good part. Um, for those of you out there, David very much is very much involved in the field. He's going to be our go-to guy for a lot of things. I promised I would work him very, very hard. So you guys got to help me keep that promise out there. All right, I'd like to introduce one other person. Gina, I'm going to put you on the carpet real quick because you're in my upline. You are probably the one of the top leaders, probably one of the first. I don't know if we call you a master distributor or not, but you're definitely a master of what you do with the experience that you've had out there. And you bring a real quality, I think, to the team that as we bring people in, I think you're definitely a person that people need to get to know and understand that this is an industry and this is a company and this is a product line where people can move forward with this and grow when they apply a little bit of effort. So if you can kind of just say hi to everybody and kind of give a little bit of your background, I would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, well, thank you, Dwight. I didn't know I was going to have the opportunity to speak, but hello, everyone. It's so great to be on this call, especially this first call that Dwight, that you've launched. We're excited to have you part of our team. And to give you a little bit of background, I've been in the industry of network marketing for almost 30 years, and I fell in love with the industry many years ago. My first company that I was involved with was Nu Skin. Many of you know it's a $1 billion plus company, and I saw the
Uh-oh,
Gina,
I think we lost her.
your sound is gone.
There, she's moving. I see her moving.
Technology in Dallas isn't as good, is it?
No, because I'm hooked into the hotel. So yeah,
There you go.
can you hear me now? I'm a little bit closer to the computer too, so that might help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you probably working on a small bandwidth, so that's understandable.
Yeah, probably, but yeah, because I'm not hooked into my MiFi, and I didn't think about it, and I should have instead of the hotel. But yeah, I'd love to be able to meet everyone on the phone call, and talk to each one individually and get to know them and help them, and know that we're here, to support, you as an individual, and help you build your business, and do whatever we can. I've known Bill and Kim, I want to add, for a long time. Not quite as long as Michael, but certainly 20 plus years. My husband Ed and I met Bill back in the 90s, earlier mid 90s, when we were with a little company back then that we were with 10 years, and we had life-changing products back then, Dwight. And Bill has this uncanny ability to understand the human body pretty much better than anyone we've ever met, and such a huge heart to give and to help others. And he really has helped so many thousands of people over the years. And for a lot of us that are on the phone call that have been in the industry, we've had our good times and our bad times, and been with good companies and bad companies. And of course, Ed and I have been burned a few times and lost six-figure incomes, and gave our home back to the bank one time because of unethical companies and owners. And of course, Bill and Kim have been in some sad and same situations as us, and because they trust people like we do. And then a few years ago, Kim and Bill said, hey, we're seriously considering starting our own company. And that was music to our ears, because we know Bill and Kim, we know their heart, we know they're of integrity, and they love to help people. And they have met us, effort for effort. They give more than anyone in the company. An example is, and Dwight, you may remember this, but when Bill and Kim came up to Charlotte to work with us, we had that snowstorm that we weren't supposed to have. And the next day, their plane canceled, and they had to rent a vehicle $1,200 one way to drive what would have normally been probably a 4-hour drive, and it took them 7 hours. They had to leave early in the morning to go meet one of our reps contacts in New Bern. And they could have, easily picked up the phone and called and said, hey, we're not going to be able to make it. But they always, always go above and beyond. I always tell people, we don't want to go into a market to start momentum. We need to go into markets and forward momentum. So guys, this is an incredible, incredible opportunity. When Bill and Kim launched Victory, we just went out there to help people. We didn't look for network marketers, but I can tell you it's a huge opportunity to create, 6-figure, 7-figure incomes with this company as it grows. And we're so blessed. We've got so much to look forward to. So don't ever feel like that Bill and Kim will ever let you down as owners, because I can bet my life on it. Those two are here to help each and every one of us. And it's not about them, it's about everyone. It's about helping each and every single person in this company. They have an open door policy, and anyone that calls customer care can get to Kim, who can get to Bill. And I don't know when they sleep because they're always there for us. Even the Amish, Kim can tell you, she's gotten calls at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and even on the weekends. I hate to put it out there, Kim, but she does answer the phone on the weekends too at times. If she's there, I don't know anybody that works harder than Kim Downs.
Yeah, I've experienced that. Thank you, Gina. I'm glad, this meet and greet has been very valuable. I hope you guys are listening very closely to see the concern it has for us guys that are out in the field. When situations come up, it's a phone call away. These guys have made themselves extremely valuable and have taken the care to really listen. They might not always agree with what I have to say, but at least they listen, and that's always it's always a good sign. Don't mean to leave you out, but guys, Michael has been a long-term friend of mine for a long time. I've worked with him in other ventures. We've always been in other groups working together. That's one of the things I've always loved about this business is you never feel threatened with working with other people, because it's all about us moving forward together. But Mike, if we just say hi to the group a little bit and give a little bit about your background, that'd be greatly appreciated.
First of all, can everyone hear me okay?
You're good.
I'm good? Great. I just feel so honored that we could all share this time together. I mean, it's every day I kind of scratch my head because I never thought, and I think Bill and Kim would probably agree, you never know where relationships take you. And I met Bill. Many years ago in my other life. I was a vitamin rep, and the company that I worked for bought raw materials from the company that Bill worked for, and so we had a lot of connection at the shows primarily. I'm also originally, and you can probably tell from my voice, from the Philadelphia area. A lot of people think I'm from Brooklyn, but I'm not. So, and I would bump into Bill every now and then at some of the stores. And so we've developed a friendship. We'd always bump into each other after we both kind of went in different directions in our careers. I got to the point where my territory covered New Jersey, Pennsylvania, parts of New York. And I got to realize that I didn't like being in traffic. And I wanted to have more of my life. And so I decided to throw caution to the wind and got involved in the network marketing business. And I haven't looked back since. And I've had, as most of us have had, some really good experiences and some not so good experiences. And my connection here, more than anything else, is, I'm a product junkie. I love good products. I'm on a path myself. My mother died of a brain tumor when I was a child. I was 18 years old when she died. She was 43. My father at the time said to me that, I remember this like it was yesterday. He said, son, he says, doctors, they really mean well, but they don't have all the answers. From that point on, he started taking supplements. And in this opportunity that I have with VNI, and partnering with Bill and David and Gina and Dwight is I really want to make a difference out there. And I approach people who really resonate with wanting to have an impact on people's lives, want to help to be able to look yourself in the mirror at the end of every day and know that you're providing to them tremendous products that can make a difference. And for those that are interested in sharing the story and sharing the word, an opportunity that they can also be very proud of. That means more to me than anything else, because we've all been with companies that we've kind of been let down with for one reason or another, or that the ownership might have taken some shortcuts just a wee bit. And so here I just have just unshakable confidence in what we have and where we're going.
Thank you, Mike. All right, guys. I hope you know, this meeting, you guys are all absolutely great. I love everything that's been said here. And those of you, especially those of you that are going to be listening to the recording, everything here, I want you to see the synergy. Just feel the energy that's right here in this group. That's why I love this Zoom. Seeing faces is just so great. But this energy, this sincereness is of real value of building. It's one of the things that you know, a lot of people come into companies to start building, but they just can't connect to that upper level. You know, it's just that one person that recruited and brought them in, and they never see anything. Well, right now, in our growth pattern here, this is it. You're going to see that everybody is concerned about moving down, and I'm kind of just going to highlight real quickly for my team. Just a little bit of information. I'm going to share my screen here real quick with you guys, and just kind of go over a mindset and why we are moving the direction we have. And you guys that I've been working with right now, some of the reasons why we're putting the tools together so we can really just blast this thing out here. Let me just kind of bring up my screen here real quick. Yeah, quick's always easy to say, right?
Well, perhaps I could say a couple of things while you're
You
doing
can. Go ahead, David. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
For those of you on the call, whether that's Dar, Sheila, Lou, Becky, Savvy Enterprises, Glenn, Fran, Rich, Aaron, Dan, and Jean from Calgary, you know, for you and others who are on the call that I can't identify, we have a ground floor opportunity here. Yes, my role is to work with the field, but we have an opportunity. We're built on a solid base for the past 4 years, and now we have an opportunity to share the wonderful experiences that each of us are having with the products, corporate staff, and representatives out in the field, and this wonderful team that's building through Michael and Dwight and others. So with that, we have an opportunity. We have an incentive currently going on with, it's called Williamsburg Grow and Go. We want each of you to join Dwight and come to our event in Williamsburg on the East Coast there on May 17th through 20th, just in a few months. You haven't missed the opportunity. We'd like to encourage you to focus on that on a daily basis, from your goals, from your daily activities, through your lifestyle, through using the products. There's information that Michael and Dwight will share with you, and I'm happy to join calls to help your understanding of that incentive and other things that we are using to build on a solid company, solid products, and a solid compensation plan. Your screen's now up. I want you to know
that's good.
My heart is in this company, and I feel a good spirit and good vibe from those that are on the call. And I hope you feel that. And I'm just grateful for this opportunity. And thanks, Dwight and Mike, for bringing this together. Over to you, Mike. Over to
Dwight.
you.
Dwight. Yeah, you just forget about me. That's fine. All right. Look,
No problem.
I've got some really interesting information here. And you know, when you get started with the company and when you put energy into it, and those of you guys who know me, I'm a pretty high energy person. And when I get involved with something, I go all out. But there's certain things that I look for. And here's what I want people to realize on this opportunity, why this is the opportunity to really get in. I hope you felt the energy, the sincereness of the people we're going to be working with. But let's take a look. This is from Harvard Business School of Network Marketing Criteria. And what they did is they did a study of the network marketing industry, and they did a study on what was the best time to come into the industry and what do you need to look for in order to have growth. And the first thing they said, the company's got to be over 18 months or older, because that first 18 months is when the companies are kind of are learning the path and are starting to develop. If they make it to that 18-month period, then they have a good chance of moving forward. So, this company's gone through that first 2 years of getting the ground running and getting the feel and getting things set up. Now, the second thing is the product's got to be unique. And if you haven't got you don't want a product. And I've been with other companies where we're promoting a product for, for $60, $70, $80, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden it's sold on Walmart's, for $9.99. And sometimes it's the same product.
It's a great company. It's a great product line, and the timing is perfect. And here's your chance to get at
what's
the
going
very
on there?
top of the marketing plan. And
I like hearing myself, but how's that happening? All right. Somebody's recording me. I am recording this, by the way. So anyways, that's one of the first things I always look at before I get involved. I don't want to put a lot of energy and time into a product line that's going to be sold out to somebody later on. And that's not the case here with the patents and things this company has. And so the other criteria of what I look for is consumable products. We want to have products that when people get on it, the products have value. And that's what they're saying here. You've got to have products that consume. So the products are unique, and it can only be gotten through the company and consumable. So that's criteria number 2. They said if you can find the opportunity when you can be on a ground floor opportunity, and here's how they define a ground floor opportunity. Basically, you should be half of 1% of the population of the country you're working in. Now that works out to 1.5 million people in a group. So we're nowhere near that right now. We would love to be, but we're nowhere there. But they say that if there are less than 500,000 people involved, that would be the cutting edge of a great opportunity. If it's 10,000 distributors or less, that is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And sometimes we hear that it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go out, but think about this. In this case, we got the company's now starting its 5th year in business. It is now looking to get progressive in order to bring in marketers like myself and you guys out there that are marketers on this, in order to build the base, because 2/3 of the distributors this company's going to have are all going to be developed in these next formative years. And when's the best time to get into something is when these years are starting to form. And that's where we are today. And somebody's playing around. All right. So the other thing is you got to focus on building a loyal customer base. And this company has proved that they've got a loyal customer base. And I would say the test that's out there that's more critical than anything else is the fact that they're dealing with the Amish community is promoting this. Now, the Amish don't go on the internet. They don't have TVs or radios or anything else. This is strictly a word-of-mouth growth. But it is a major factor in here. And they wouldn't be in this if they didn't have a product that was benefiting them and with growth in there. And I mean, it's just, that itself. So these are the four things they said they need to look at. Now, when a company grows, the first thing it's in its foundation, it's in its developing periods. They say it usually lasts 6 months. It's probably 6 months to a year as companies are getting to get down, and you start trying to figure out who your market is, how you're going to market, and how you're going to get out there. Then we get into the concentration mode, and that's a 2 to 4 year period. And we're here, right here. We're at the company is in their 4th year, and they now have really got. This is what brought me in. Now they are ready to take on individuals like me and other marketers out there who have a sincere desire to help out there, but really want to bring this out, because the importance of us as distributors is the fact that this is a product that is a word-of-mouth type product, and we got to get out there. And we're the guys who are going to build the army that's going to let people know what this is all about and the value of the product. And it starts with us. So this is the opportunity that's there. When we get into momentum, which is what we're going to be working on this year, if I have anything to say about it, we are definitely going to get into that momentum. And here's what we look at. When a company's sales reach, as it states here, 50 million annually, that's when they hit what's called critical mass. This is when things go tenfold. It states right here, this is when the company has 2/3 of this company growth and distributors happen in this period. Here we are, 5th year, right here, the top third. Where do you want to place yourself in this? See, this is why I'm excited about this. You guys that I've been talking to and working with, and those of you that are listening to this recording, I want this to sink in, because this is something I am extremely passionate about and some place to go. Now, here's what this means, is that as you come in and we start sharing with you a way to generate some income, those that are here, let's say they're making $1,000 a month, when critical mass is hit and it has that exponential growth, that growth means that 1,000 a month now becomes 10,000 a month. It's been shown time and time again. And they mentioned here, some of you have been, I know a couple of you have been with Herbalife. I remember back in the days when it first came in, when it was a small company, when it joined them. And when they hit 50 million in sales, the following year they went to 151 million, and then they had over 800,000 people in their organization. That's when growth has been involved. I've been involved in a couple other companies that have been exactly in this situation and have seen it time and time again. That's our opportunity, and that's where it's going to grow. So once stability hits, still great opportunity for those to come in, but it's a little bit more of a path to follow through with. You take a look at more established companies out there. They've been out there a long time. You can make money in any company you join if you work at it. The difference here is if you're coming in here at this level and put it in, the efforts are going to have 10 times the pay out there to grow it. So as we develop this next year, and you work, and it is going to be work involved, there's going to be a lot there. Now, when I came in and I evaluated this company, here's what I looked at. I learned a long time ago in marketing, the best way to keep a recurring income going is to have a consumable product. And a consumable product is something people have to, that they need and want, and so they keep buying it over and over again. I got involved in a company once that had a product that you sold. It was great. It was a $500 sale, but that was it. There was nothing to do after that. You were constantly going out there and trying to find people in the market. When you build a strong customer base, which this company is all about, when you build that strong customer base and you have people coming in, then that product line is going there. That's how sustainable income takes place. We got a company. I want to make sure that the product I'm selling today is the same product I'm going to sell next year. It's the same product I'm going to sell 10 years from now. So we got a company that's dedicated to that quality control. That's one of Bill's expertise. Responsible management and connects to its field and its customers. You guys have seen the management right now. If you are seeing how the management is working with us right now, and it's not going to stop. Now, obviously, as things get busier and busier and busier, there's going to be different ways to reach out. You guys as leaders out there are part of that. Just like I'm depending on David, and I depend on Michael, and I depending on Gina. These are my 3 key people that I'm going to go to, and they're probably going to get tired of working with me up to a bit, but as I put more money in their pocket, I don't think they're going to mind that much. Now, you team up. The next thing I look for is I'm looking for a sales team with tools, and I'm looking for, now, in our group, you guys know me, I got tools. You guys will never lack people to talk to. And the company is got a wide variety of tools that are working in conjunction with everything that's going on right now. But as we grow in our group, as you are working in our group and you're coming in, you guys got the tools. You will never have a reason to tell me I don't have somebody to talk to, because I've got literally thousands of people for you to talk to. So I never want to hear nobody to talk to. I got people you can talk to. Absolutely no problem along with that line. Notice we have upline support. That's critical. For me, I've got these guys right here. They're going to be working real closely. And they'll probably make me toe the line a little tighter. Probably call me on the carpet a few times. But it's always going to be in my best interest. And the same thing goes down. And one of the things that I'm working on right now with my group and trying to bring people together is I'm part of my job is not selling the product. My job is to teach you how to become better sponsors, how to work with your people, and how to get that to pass down, how to bring in the right number of people and help them bring in the right number of people in order to gain success, so that this company can have the distribution network it needs in order to develop in order for us to get the customer base built out there. Because once more people learn about this, they're definitely going to want to do it. And that's a system in place that generates long-term success.
Yes, sir. Good. Come here, you have a look. They're all
right.
on the screen.
All right. Got to look quiet. And the last thing, obviously, is the compensation plan, which is a huge, huge thing. Go ahead.
Can I make one comment first, Dwight?
Yes, you can.
I want everybody to understand that now we're just going into our 5th year, and we still statistically have less than 1/100th of 1% of product returns. And that is an amazing testament to customer loyalty. And if you want to talk about residual income, purchasing, persistence, repeat purchases, people love the products. And if you want to look at long-term business and residual income, that is one of the first places you look, is what, how many products people are returning. And when I was selling
Marketing guy.
a vitamin company, I would go into a health food store, a big one of my health food stores, and I would take back more product in a 6-week cycle than we take back in a year. And it's just ridiculous. And when David was talking about quality control, the science shows that the product works. The quality control is ridiculously rigorous. And actually, Kim oversees a lot of that as well. And we're just, the passion for what we do, for making a difference in people's lives, is just unprecedented, is unmatched. So I am just incredibly privileged to be able to be a part of your lives, your VNI experience, and look forward to supporting you. And by the way, I'm a cold-hearted meanie.
Yeah, I bet you are. All right. Now, look I want to talk real quick. One of the things when you look at a company, there's a lot of comp plans out there, and some of the leaders I've been reaching out to are going, oh, man, this comp plan, that comp plan, this comp plan is better than that one. One thing I always bring out to people, and some of you guys are going to run into this, nothing happens until something is sold, period. It's all about promoting the product and getting it out there. And we are putting together the tools to help you do that. But this comp plan is probably one of the fairest and finest comp plans that I've ever seen. When I looked at it, I'm going, I don't know. There's some little flaws in it. But as I got to looking at it, and I've worked this comp plan before, I began to realize it's really a very simple comp plan. If you guys look at comp plans out there, like my last company, I couldn't ever explain it. We read that thing 20,000 times upside and down because you had to get qualified here. You had to go to a certain level here. Then you had to double qualify and go over here. And then you had to go to some city, raise your hand up in one corner of the state and say, hey, that's how you get qualified over here. And then it was right back. Then they changed the plan on you and they went right back again. This is simple, guys. As you look at the comp plan, I find there's 3 things that we need to understand, and this is where the bucks are made. Number 1 is the 30%. When you bring in that first order, I will be sharing you how that sets up, but it's 30% on that first order. This allows us to help our people get money in their pockets right away. I can tell you my first week, I did okay. And there's absolutely, and so that can mean a lot. We can put $500 in somebody's pocket within 2 to 3 weeks, or even in that first month. That goes a long way to sharing with them that there's a way to stick. I can't even begin to count the number of times in organizations I've been in where I've seen people who just plod along, they go along through no fault of their own, just have not been able to get that check out there because they didn't get their qualifiers and things along that line. The 30% right there helps put the people in. The other key thing, and this is thinking about when we talked about the numbers of bringing people in, there's a 10% check match here on the unilevel. What that means, guys, you get out there, you bring in, let's say you get 5 people in and they're doing 10,000 a month. You're going to get 10. You're going to get 10% of that. That's 1,000. You're making $5,000 a month, and that's just on a match that has nothing to do with the unilevel. So that right there can go on. You could put somebody below an organization, anything else. The other key thing, this is a unilevel and it is compressed. That means you don't get skipped. The way they've laid this program out is that the money that's set aside to compensate the field doesn't go back to the companies like a lot of compensations go. I know Dave could speak to that because he's seen it. And the bottom line is this is all compressed down so everybody's getting paid at their percentages and the levels. Now, so here's the key. I've worked this comp plan before, and this plan is designed to do one thing. If you become a team player and learn to work with your downline, the reward is going to be tremendous. And if you take a look on this comp plan here, a few different things. Number one, on the level, as you start getting in volume and we get people getting their monthly shipments, you're at the first level, you're getting 5%. Second level, you're getting 5%. That third level is 10%. Here's the value. If you work your buns off to help that person come in to get their people in. Because when you're working with them and sharing with them, if you share 5 people, if you have 5 people in, you're sharing with how to get their 5 people in, guess what? That's on your third level. You're now generating some serious income if you stop to look at it. And what I've learned, people just need to be given a direction and tools, and then they can go ahead and grow. So this 10% is a huge portion of this. Okay, quiet back there. So this is a huge part of the program. This would develop a lot of income. So let's just go back to this and look at this one more time. 30%, 10% unilevel compression, and it's a teamwork. How simple is that? And there's real income to be made here. Now, here's something to think about. When okay, quiet guys. I don't know who's talking, but quiet. All right, look at a couple of things. As you start ranking, they have a system set up right now that you can go ahead and hit the manager. It's a 250 when you get that level. Go to executive, it's 500, director 750, and it's 1,000. Now, I'm going to be showing you guys ways to move through this fairly quickly. You get the manager, you hold that 3 months, you get a 250 bonus. You get the executive manager, you got a 500. You get the director. So there's what? That's what? $2,000, $2,500 in bonuses. This could very conceivably, and we'll talk about this more when we get into training, but this is very conceivably could be done within your first 90 to 120 days if you put your nose to the grindstone work. I've already hit the managers. I'm halfway into the executive manager right now, and we've been busy for 2 weeks. And we now got the group that will be growing here. So the money up front is going to help our people grow, and then as you start building your team, this is going to get the residual. And as we train, and I can't emphasize it enough, it's all about training people deep and getting, because once you get somebody trained and you're working with your groups at second level and third level, and we bring people into group trainings, and the stars will rise, and those are the ones we're going to grow with. This is how we're going to get some massive momentum. And this is one of the things that when you guys understand this, and when you're talking about people, and people say, hey, my comp plan's better than yours, say, look at comp plan. How many hoops do you got to jump through? Which foot do you need to be on to get there? And what is the overall percentages? The bottom line is, if you have a group that's producing product, I could have the best comp plan in the world, but if I can't do $1 million a year in sales, I'm not going to get my commissions. All right? And that's where a lot of the top plans are laid at. Here, this builds with you. And I know from good sources, there's some improvements coming along the way as well with this. So this is a dynamic plan, a way to help people start growing and to start building their businesses. Now, when we get into working on the team, my basic philosophy is, and it's always been, you guys who have worked with me in the past know I'm always available 24/7. You guys can always get a hold of me, and you know that if you, because you might not get me right on the phone immediately, but I always will call you back and we'll follow up, and we will get to the situation of the growth. We are putting together a system, and I'm putting together a team. We've got some group of people where we're going to be helping people get their first 5 in, and then training them to do exactly the same thing. Now, you don't have to do 5. 3 is very profitable. For those who want to be a little more aggressive, I happen to be highly motivated. I want to work at 5+. Once you learn how to do this and you have this skill, and that's what we're talking about here, my job is to teach you guys the skills in order to grow. And it doesn't happen overnight. I can't put into your heads what I've been doing for 30 years. but I can spoon feed you and give you directions and keep you from going through those pitfalls. And we'll have a training next week where I'll be going over much more details on what we're going to be doing as a team. But I want those of you that listen to the recording that to understand you've heard the leaders of this company, you've heard the leaders in our group, and we have a plan. And this team has a plan to help you move forward. And I want everybody to get excited about this because we are at the beginning of getting this thing to go to a momentum stage. And I'm super excited about it. I'm probably going to make myself 10 years younger in the process because the excitement just happens to do a lot of things. It takes care of a lot of illnesses. And then there's the product. And that's within itself is a wonder all by itself. All right, guys, listen. We've been going at this for almost an hour. Perfect. And let's see if I can close out of this. What? Yeah. Right out. Oh, go ahead.
Two things. I think you presented the simplicity of the compensation plan extremely well. And I know you're going to have a follow-up training in detail. A couple of additional things that are going to be even more better when you hear them. More better? Is that a word? I'm sorry.
More better is greater. Greater is perfect. Go for it.
It's English. That's what it is. So you said the first check is 30%. It is, but everyone, that's not 30% of the commissionable amount or whatever that is called in the industry. It's 30% of the price you pay, 30% of wholesale, which is a huge deal. That's the first thing. The second thing, you mentioned unilevel and compression. Well, I'm going to add one word. Before compression, use the word dynamic. I'm not going to give any detail, but that makes compression even better in VNI and our specific compensation plan. That's all I wanted to say, and I hear the echoes, so I'll let you carry on, Dwight.
All right, I got everybody muted out because we have some feedback. I'm not too sure where that's coming from, but that's fine. But definitely look at this is out of recording. I will be editing this and putting it together for the team to use. Those of you that are coming on, that are listening to the recording, the one thing I'm going to ask you guys after you get done doing with this, now my little trade secret on things that I do, when you guys are watching one of my videos, generally speaking, there's a little place where I hold you accountable. You fill out your name and you give me your address. That lets me know that you were there. That tells me that I need to spend some time with you. So if you're listening to the recording, make sure that happens. But David, Bill, Gina, Mike, thank you very much. I think this was a great meeting. And you guys, I can't express enough the gratitude I have for coming across. Mike, this is directly to you. The gratitude I have to be able to come in at this level and to get the backing that I'm getting from each of you guys. I've worked a lot of companies. I've built some great organizations. I've built some big checks, and I hate to say it, getting upline support and getting company support, it seems like I was working against them more than they were trying to work with me. You guys have made it very clear you're here to help us move forward. And with that, I will thank you. So I was going to open this up. We got some feedback here. So next meeting, you guys can, if you have any questions, email me. I will get those questions out to who need to be answered. It's been an hour. It's been a long day. I've been going since about 7 this morning, just pounding away, making contacts. But it's what we do. So with that, I wish everybody a great night. And next Monday, we're going to have a meeting as a team. And David, Bill, Mike, Gina, thank you very much for coming. And you're greatly appreciated. Bye now.
Thank you. It's a privilege. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's David's
Mr. Amish himself. There we go.
That is an authentic Amish straw hat.
And he's really English.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.